and we are about to get this game started and unpause. I gotta say, I kind of wish to see the same game in terms of where they were sitting, but I'll be okay with this. I'll be okay with this. It's still gonna be good. So, are you ready, sir, for the countdown?
I am prepared.
All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, and we're at game 1B, I suppose, of the round of 4 between Drafter and Select on Metalopolis, Terran versus Terran. In the bottom position, we have the yellow Drafter, just starting off pretty standard here, up to 8 supply. And on the right side, we have the red Terran Select. So this time is going to be kind of the flip side of last time. We saw Select get ahead last time in game 1A, the disconnect game, which with a lot of ghost drops and even marauder drops, and those are going to be a lot less effective because you have to send them out so much earlier to get them there timely to your opponent's base. But we're close by ground in this game, so the tank heavy style of drafter that we saw in game 1 will probably be a little more dominant here in game 2 on these positions.
Yeah, we might. I mean, Drafter is really comfortable with this position. This is exactly where he was in the last game. So if he continues, this is what's going to be funny to me. Like when he sends his scout out, I just want to know if the last game had any effect, if he'll send it the other way, or if he just is, a counterclockwise guy. But he may have the opportunity to scout him first, and that could change things up a little bit. So racks down for both sides
Right.
here, almost identical timing, and people talk about that a lot when they talk about the TVTs. Is the first few moments of the production tab is literally almost synchronized in second, and that refinery for both sides just goes up literally at the same microsecond. So these guys are on par, and there it is. We're going to see the scout, but interestingly enough, Drafter's SCV came from the south real quick. Unless he sent that early scout out, I'm surprised Select didn't maybe go down a little bit, but he was.
Yes, I'm surprised the same that Select didn't pick up on that and redirect his SCV, but it looks like he's decided to go for the top position, which is of course incorrect. If we bring up the APM tab really quick, we can see really the Korean style of Select shining through here as he's been maxing up at about 320. And I believe 320 in StarCraft 2 is more like 400 in Brood War, or 400 plus. Both of them averaging well above 200, so really, really quick play here from both players.
Nice. I wish my APM was that high. One day.
One day.
One day. All right. SCV actually, he scouted north and then came back, and he must have realized at that point. So something must have sunk in that if he didn't go from the other way. I don't know. But here he is going in.
Right.
There's a couple. What?
Sorry, I just wanted to point out, he really figured it out. The time was quick, so he knew that SCV had to come from one of the quick positions. What he didn't put together was where it actually came from.
Right.
So he didn't notice that it came along the bottom, which I really thought he would have picked up on, but did not in this game. And again, Ghost Academy. So something that's interesting to me is I feel like this Ghost build is something that is a little bit sneaky. You really want to put your opponent in a position that he's never been in before. If I used it, I would use it like that. So surprising to see that Select did it in the first game. Now Drafter knows about it. He's well aware, but he's going to do it again. So maybe Select doesn't think this is one of those kind of cutesy builds where you beat your opponent just because he didn't expect it, but maybe he really thinks this is a solid opening that can stand up, against the other openings in TVT.
I think we're about to find out, Chill, as we have an identical opening from the first game, game 1A from Drafter, but this time he's going to do what we suggested he should have done in the first game, and he is going to send this Hellion out. And hopefully he could get a little bit more information than he got last time because, he kind of walked in blindly from that point of view. So I am glad to see this. The Hellion's out. It's checking out the natural. Nothing's there. And actually, he's got a little window. He could walk right into here, go past this Marine and get past this Ghost and either do some damage or at least see that the Ghost Academy is there, and he's going to go ahead and try to do some damage here as he also sees the command center going in. And look at that Ghost taking absolutely no damage at all. Still has 75 energy. A second one pops out. So at least he used that Hellion and got a little bit of information there. It's unfortunate. What if he's like, man, if I would have had 2 Hellions, it might have been able to do a lot more probe damage there. SCV damage, working.
Yeah, he didn't get any kills. He softened them up. So, if he drops in a Marauder or something later in the game, those SCVs aren't going to heal up because they're mechanical, so they'll really be susceptible to damage. Now, following up with the Viking Scout, he wants to make sure that he knows exactly what's going on. Sees the 3 ghosts and the 2 barracks following up, and the command center is almost complete for Select. Looks like Drafter this time expanding a little bit later. In the first game, I believe Drafter had his expansion up first. In this game, he's going a little bit later, but he's getting siege mode and pushing up the right side with that tank. I feel like siege tanks are just an excellent counter. If he can get up here under in this little kind of divot, this cutout area, and siege up, that's going to be really difficult for Select to deal with. And he's sieging up right now. The Ghost, oh my god, get hit. Big damage from the siege tank hitting the Marauder. That is really painful for Select. I'm not sure if he can deflect this. That siege tank really is going to put the hurt on those ghosts. They don't have much to handle it.
This is really bad for Select right here. Yeah, this is probably where we're seeing the weakness of this build, because first off, those ghosts got absolutely decimated just within one shot. That tank is in perfect position. It is going to take something short of a miracle to actually pull this off. He's got no factory. He's got no starport, so it would have to be sheer numbers. And look at this. He's pulled all his SCVs off the line. I cannot believe it. If he is going to try this, that would be absolutely insane. The barracks is, the bunker is down as well. This is just going to be rape on these units as they just get decimated. They will take out the siege tank, and now they're going to go for the second one, still firing away, and he might be able to hold it off, but it's all about this bunker and the 4 Marines inside. The 2 Vikings will also come for support, and although Drafter lost an awful lot, I feel like the losses from Select were even greater. Maybe not.
Yeah, if we take a look at the income tab, just look at the harvesters, 35 to 25. A few Marauders escaping here, and actually they may be able to do a little bit of damage. They have stim, but no concussive shells. Select can't take his expansion because we've got these 2 bunkers up just at his natural, so he's using it to call down mules. These 3 Marauders stimming in, going to take out the bunker, and Drafter actually bringing SCVs off the line to try to deal with this. I'm surprised he doesn't have any units out here to try to take this out. Select getting back in the game here with these stim Marauders. Drafter forced to land, but Vikings landed against Marauders. That's not a situation you want to be in. 2 Marauders go down. Looks like the next one, and Drafter actually lifting up that Viking so it doesn't get taken out. Harvester is now almost dead even, 30 to 30. And Select says, forget about those bunkers. I'm just going to continue that. Bringing 5 Marauders out this time. Drafter really does not have much to try to deal with this.
Oh my god, no! The siege tank just walks out right in the open. The concussion cells have definitely finished it. 5 more Marauders are going to make their way up in against 2. This bunker is not completed. It's just worthless. And more SCVs are just dying to these Marauders of Select. Somehow Select's bounced back from that, even after not panicking and losing all of those workers. So now try to have to use the siege tank back here, and those Vikings once again, they are just getting ripped apart. Here comes some Marines, an excellent choice here, but unfortunately, although he cleans it up, here come 3 more. Chill.
Oh my god. If Drafter just had gotten that bunker up, I mean, bunkers die really quickly to Marauders, but putting a few of his own Marauders into that Drafter bunker really could have helped him hold off. And looks like Select not even going to deal with his natural, forcing Drafter to lift off. He's now ahead by 10 SCVs. Drafter actually has this siege tank, which is going to do a lot of splash damage, but get taken out so quickly by the Marauders. 3 Marauders now left. Drafter finishing a Marauder of his own, taking out Select's Marauder. 3 Marauders still moving in for Select. I don't think Drafter can hold this. I think he's just going to get broken here, trying to make Vikings and units out of his barracks, but really does not look good. And look at this, Select actually flying to the gold expansion.
Oh, good move there by Select. He drops that down here. Meanwhile, in the main base, this is what we call pressure right here as Select just continues to go in. I feel like these Vikings are just serving absolutely zero purpose in here, and I mean, there you go, GG, and Drafter is going to leave, but I feel like if he would have not gone with the Vikings and maybe focused a little bit more on his Marauder count, a few more tanks, and then had like a couple sieged up there at that early section. I mean, that was great timing. I don't know if maybe he was missing a push there or what, but talk about not panicking by Select. I mean, so many players at that point probably would have just been like, shit, but he pulled his workers. He made the sacrifice that he needed to make. And then at that point, it didn't matter that he didn't have his expansion up because he completely went down and wrecked the drafters. So game one is going to go to Select, and that is surprising. So, Chill, thoughts on the match, and then also as it relates to that little 3-ghost build, because it seemed completely ineffective this time, but he held it off.
Right. I think this game really shows us the disparity between a player who thinks on his feet and a player who doesn't. Because if we look at Select, he kind of did a Brood War style there where you break tanks by sending out SCVs. They don't take too much damage from the tanks, so they soak up the damage, and then your heavy units come in from behind and take out the siege tanks. And he lost a lot. A weaker player would have really gotten focused on his expansion. He wouldn't be able to get over the fact that I built that command center and I need to take my natural at all costs. I really need to kill these bunkers. Select didn't do that and attacked. And I mean, it's not I'm not mind blown here, but very strong play to think on his feet. On the other hand, Drafter really succumbed to the pressure. Looking back at this game, it's very easy for us to say Vikings are doing nothing. Lift your starport, put on a tech lab, get one Banshee, you're fine. And I'm sure Drafter will do that in future games. But in this game, just really did not have he couldn't dig deep enough to come to that conclusion to stave off the Marauder attack.
Yeah, I mean, I really wish, and I feel like that game could have gone a lot differently had those Vikings not really had much of a play. First one for scouting, great. There wasn't much that was going to be able to kill it, but I just feel like that those resources could have been put to use in other places. So